So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Galaxy S26 Ultra versus the OnePlus 15 speed test. This one has been requested quite a few times. Let's just go ahead and kick things off with a boot up test in 3, 2, go, and see which one can get there first. Now, both these phones do have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, but the Galaxy One is an overclocked version for specifically the Galaxy S line. So we'll see if that makes a difference in this video. I do have the base 256 gig or 12 gig of RAM version of the S26 Ultra, and this is the 512 gig, 16 gig of RAM version of the OnePlus 15. But you've seen that the Galaxy S26 Ultra did turn on slightly faster than that of the OnePlus 15. And so let's go ahead and do a fingerprint test between both of them on their ultrasonic fingerprint sensors in 3, 2, go. And you've seen that they do have a different way of flying in, but both are nearly the same exact performance. They just come in a little bit of a different way. Which way do you prefer, or which animation do you prefer how they launch in? It looks like the Samsung may be slightly quicker looking with their animation, whereas OnePlus is going for a more pleasing, polished look right there. Now, looking at the face unlocks, they both can just simply bypass the lock screen, and they've been able to do this for years, but you'll see they kind of have that same animation you'll see if you go ahead and unlock them with their ultrasonic fingerprint sensors. Getting into these phones is pretty much exactly the same in terms of performance. Not only on booting up, they're only within seconds, but also face unlock is about the same as well. Now, when going through the actual performance of One UI 8.5 has been pretty good. I mean, navigating the system, I don't see too many stutters or anything like that. You know, going over here, operating into the privacy display option that is available for this phone works just fantastic. And just like the One UI 8 that came before it, it's just snappy. So I really enjoy using the Galaxy S26 Ultra daily when it comes to performance. Just kind of going through this phone feels like one of the faster experiences on the market today. And that's funny because back in the day, the Samsung devices, and I'm talking about way back in the day, they weren't always the fastest phones, but now they're actually the phone to beat, I feel like, a lot of times when it comes to these speed tests. You'll see right here, very fast to navigate here on the OnePlus, but I am seeing more of an emphasis on smoother animation, just a super smooth experience, and it really does feel like butter. It's like a butter knife on, slice of melted butter when you're like going through the Oxygen OS over here on the OnePlus 15. As a matter of fact, I feel like it's a little more animated looking than even the One UI 8.5. So it comes down to, I think, if you like speed, you might like the look of One UI, how it navigates, or if you like the OnePlus 15, you might like polished looking animations a little bit more. Let's get into the app test now. But before we do that, I want to point out here that we do have a clock speed of 3.63 gigahertz on that cluster 1. You'll see over here, same clock speed on cluster 1, but look at the cluster 2. That's where things change a little bit for the S26 Ultra, 4.74 gigahertz, over here 4.61. So you can see that slight overclock right there on the Galaxy. All right, guys, so here we are at the application launch speed test. Let's go ahead and go into calendar, and you can see launched a little bit first there on the left. We'll swipe up out of there, and we'll go into clock, and about the same as we navigate through these different sections. They seem to pop these basic apps open exactly the same. We'll go into calculator, and exactly the same. We'll go into Play Store once again, pretty much exactly the same. You do have what appears to be a little bit of a larger looking display on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. The shape is also more iPhone-like on the OnePlus. So let's go into weather on both, and they launch at about the same clip. No major issues. We'll swipe up out of there. We'll go into ChatGPT on both. That was faster, I think, on the OnePlus, but it was showing a pop-up, but still pretty much the same. Both have number rows. Both of them very fun to operate. Let's go into Gemini on both phones, and they launched that about the same as well. Gemini's been launching better lately. Let's go into Copilot. You'll see basically the same again. So we are running the same chip, so I'm not surprised by this. Let's go into Groupon, and that was faster on the OnePlus. And it looks like we had a little bit of a delay there going to categories, but that's not to say, I think I have eye comfort on. Why does it look like that, or a